Today we're going to look at patterns of day and night to answer the question, why does the length of day change from summer to winter? Let's start with some background knowledge about the Earth. The Earth is separated into two halves by an imaginary line called the equator. The half of Earth that is between the equator and the North Pole is called the Northern Hemisphere, while the half of Earth that is between the equator and the South Pole is called the Southern Hemisphere. There's also another imaginary line that runs through the Earth from the North Pole to the South Pole, and this is called the Earth's axis. The Earth rotates or spins on this axis, and it makes a full rotation every 24 hours. Now, let's look and see how the Earth and Sun relate to each other. What causes day and night? Well, the half of Earth that is facing the Sun is illuminated by the Sun's light, and in that half, it's daytime. The half that is facing away from the Sun is in darkness, and it is nighttime in that half. Now, in this diagram, the Earth's axis is straight up and down compared to the Sun, but that's not actually what the Earth looks like. If this were true, almost everywhere on Earth would be in the light for half of the day and in dark for half of the day, meaning that they would have equal days and nights all of the time. But the Earth is not straight up and down. It is tilted at an angle of 23.3 degrees. Because of this, the northern hemisphere is pointed towards the Sun at this time of year. In this picture, it's June. What do you notice about the amount of light compared to the amount of darkness now in the northern hemisphere? Well, the northern hemisphere now is getting a lot more sunlight than it did when the Earth was straight up and down. This means that the days will be longer than 12 hours. It's also a lot less darkness in the northern hemisphere, meaning the nights will be shorter than 12 hours. In the northern hemisphere, this is our summertime. The northern hemisphere is not always pointed towards the Sun, though, because the Earth also revolves around the Sun. It takes 1 year or 12 months to complete one full orbit. In this diagram, the Earth only completed half of its orbit, so that would only be 6 months after June, which is December. Now, in December, the northern hemisphere is now pointing away from the Sun. The side closest to the Sun is in daytime, and the side facing away is nighttime. Let's compare the amounts of sunlight and darkness in the northern hemisphere now that it's December. The amount of darkness is now much greater than the amount of sunlight that the northern hemisphere receives. This means that the days will be shorter during December and the nights will be longer. In the northern hemisphere, this is wintertime. Now that you know why the days in summertime are longer and the days in wintertime are shorter in the northern hemisphere, you could take this a step farther by researching the following questions. How does day length change in the southern hemisphere? Or, how is day length different during fall and spring? Thank you for watching, and visit www.ngssnerd.com for more videos.